Hi guys, welcome back to this week's blog. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you for everybody that's supporting the blog. I've had some really positive comments on the last one I did here at Girton, so we're back again. Please keep the comments coming. I haven't said anything before these last couple of blogs I've done, but you know how it works, guys. If you can like and subscribe, and that's as much of the sales side I'm going to do on that. But yeah, let's turn you around, show you where we are, and give you a bit of an update. So yeah, just got down the lake. And buzzing is an understatement because I've managed to bag the swim that does a lot of the big fishing here. Swim known as Popular Point. The conditions are absolutely bang on for it. They love it warm in here, so the more sun we get, the better. It's a really deep pit, and this peg controls loads of open water, and there's just so many nice spots out there. The wind's banging down here, northwesterly. Yeah, as I say, we've got absolutely perfect conditions, and it's just looking really good now. So yeah, got here a couple of hours ago, and all I've done is I've just clipped the rods up to a couple of spots that I've been told about and known about. I've had four or five casts just to feel, and yeah, the lead's going down with an absolute crack in around sort of 12-13 foot of water. The 3 tall trees you can see in the background, one rod's going to go on there, one rod on a bar to the right of the pylon, and I'm undecided with the 3rd rod yet. I might just flick it down here. It looks prime for a sort of a margin bite. So yeah, we've got 48 hours. We can have 72 if we want, so we'll see how the session goes. But yeah, it's looking absolutely bang on. So I'm going to get a little bit of bait out. I've just literally just been preparing some. So this week we've slightly changed it from last week, and what we've got is basically a party mix and some club mix that have been soaking in this stuff here. So that's going to go out. I'm not going to go mad. I'm just going to put tens bombs also to start off with on that spot there. You can see out there the 3 tall trees. So yeah, so we're going to get some bait out, and we shall give you a bit of an update later on. Right, just a bit of an update for you guys. We've got the rods out. I'll flip the camera around shortly, just let you know what we did with the rods, what rigs we've got on, and just plans for the next couple of hours really. So yeah, right. So I decided on the left hand rod, that did go out right at that pylon there, and it went down with an absolute crack. I'd be amazed if I don't get a fish off that. It went down really nicely, so really pleased with that one. I wrapped that up to 28, and I've gone out into the water a bit, so it's probably fishing somewhere between 150 and 120 yards. On a bar area, and then, as I said to you earlier on, I put some bait, 10 or 12 spots on the tall trees in the back there, and I've put the middle rod in the middle of those trees, and the right hand rod just off to the right. I wasn't that happy with the drop on the middle rod, but it still went out fine, but the right hand rod went down definitely on a harder spot. So, but sometimes the fish do come off the softer spots, so we'll leave that for a little while, leave them for the next couple of hours. We'll have a recast before it gets dark anyway. So, but I'm happy with how the rods went out. Getting a little bit more cloud coming in now. Could do with a bit more, to be honest. It is bright, and the wind's definitely pushing more sort of a west-northwest now. It does look really bang on for it. So I couldn't be in a better swim at this time of year for the big common to slip up. So the big ones of the lake, butthead, has still not been caught, unless someone's keeping that capture quiet, but I think we would have heard about it. Vinny's on an absolute mega roll at the moment, had 2T at 54, late record for that fish, which is absolutely brilliant. So pleased that fish is doing well. He's put on 10-11 pound, I think, since I caught it, which is just amazing. So all credit to the quality of the water here. But yeah, it's fairly busy. There's quite a few on, and there's quite a lot of pressure in this bowl. But I've said many times before, this is where the fish like it this time of year. It's definitely game on once they've spawned. For the eagle-eyed view, I've gone back to the dial ISOs. I did have a set of those prior to the power arrows. Not sure why I got rid of them, to be honest. Well, I know why I got rid of them. I had a good deal, but yeah, I've gone back to them. The power arrows have been fixed, and I'll shortly be selling them. So I'm going to grab myself some lunch now. It's about 2:30, and I'll talk to you a little bit later on about the rigs that I'm using. I have changed them since the last session. I just wasn't happy with them runny rigs. I think the stockies were coming in over the bait, probably picking up, getting dropped, and blunting the hooks, and also with the soft mouths as well. So we've changed the rigs, and I'll talk to you a bit about those later on. So yeah, until something else happens, I shall check in later. Right, just a bit of an update for you. Not a lot's happened actually. Just seen the first fish roll about 60 yards out. Only a stocky, but it's a good indication because it's been absolutely dire up here for sightings, which is really strange. But I'm just hoping as the sun starts to set, fish will move back down this end, and we'll start to see some shows. But I'm just about to do some recasts, and I mentioned earlier on that I did do a couple of rig changes because I was losing quite a few rigs on the Ronnie. So yeah, in fact, fish has just showed to the right there. Might have to get a rod on that. So yeah, I'll just quickly show you. Same setup as last week. Hopefully you can see this. I know it's bright, but 15-pound main line, the anti-tangle tubing, lead clip system, anti-tangle sleeve, and then I've gone back to the good old faithful hinge stiff rig. So I've got 20-pound semi-stiff coated braid there. I'm using mouth trap, the hook link section, a size 4 chod hook, and those chod hooks are from J Precision, really sharp hooks. And then I've got a little homemade squid and octopus, or my version of a club mix pop-up on it basically. So yeah, that's going out on the spot. So that's that rig. So yeah, I've got 2 stiff hinges, and the left hand rod, I'm just going to keep it nice and simple, match the hatch. I've got a slip D combi, and all I've got on there is a 16mm club mix wafter. So yeah, they're the rigs I'm using. So say 2 stiff hinges on one, and I'm going to be using a wafter on the other, which is just simple match the hatch. So yeah, I'm going to get these rods out, and hopefully we'll get a bite before it gets dark. That's the one. What a shot. Yes. Just had a right good scrap. Got a nice original mirror down there. Middle rod went, dropped back a couple, and then absolutely screamed off, and it put up a really good account of itself, this one. Definitely an original, and yeah, I'm absolutely made up. So I'm going to get the middle rod back out, and we'll do some videoing and photos of this one. But yeah, it's an absolute cracker. Happy days. Right, as I was just saying, this is what we come to Girton for. Original scaly fish. Thanks to Lee for the photos. Look at that. An absolute cracker. You won't put me off, boys. Just quickly show you the other side. And get this fish back. $26.8. Happy days. Right, good morning. We've got a first light bite. Sorry I didn't do any vlogging last night, but that bite came quite late and I ended up getting all the rods back out sorted, getting all the camera gear sorted, etc. But yeah, we had an absolute ripping take this morning. Middle rod again, and what we've got, what looks to be another original fish. Common, beautiful, long. It looks to be full of spawn as well. It's got a nice belly on it. They've not spawned in here yet, and it came in just over 25.5 pounds. I'll get out to show you. Oh, lively these ones. Let's get a bit of water up. Oh, beautiful colours. Oh, look at that. That is an absolute bar of gold. So I'll quickly show you the other side. So it's a stiff hinge rig, this one. Oh, beautiful fish. Absolutely golden. Look at that. Right, we'll get some pictures and we'll get this one back. Right, what a start that is then. So 24 hours in, 2 bites, and yeah, 2 mid-20 fish, a mirror and a common, so couldn't be a better start to the session. Well chuffed for that. Considering I've not seen a huge amount of activity, I'm really pleased. So yeah, bite at just before it got dark, and a bite at first light really. So that was about, well, not first light, it's getting light about 4, but about 10 to 7 this morning. So yeah, it fought really well, that common did. Beautiful clean fish, colours on it were absolutely gorgeous. So it looks like it's going to be an absolute scorcher today. I've got some sun cream, so I'm going to go begging, I think, around the lake and see if anybody's got some. I did put some on yesterday before I left the house, so, but yeah, I think we're forecast for about 22, 24 degrees today. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning. I'll turn you around and show you the lake. We've still got that north-northwest wind pushing down. It's probably more northerly at the moment, but yeah, it was the middle rod that went again, and it was the same spot, just to the right of the pylon. It's a really nice area out there. It goes down with an absolute crack, so yeah, I must admit I'm really confident now, and you know, I'm hoping that one of these really big ones is going to grace the net. It was a year to the day actually yesterday that I photoed butthead, 55, 56, maybe a bit more for John, when he had it off this swim, off the spots I'm fishing. So yeah, we got a real chance. It's still not been caught, and yes, I am going to keep going on about it whilst I'm fishing here, because that's the fish I'm trying to get. As I say, I think measles is definitely catchable, and in particular when the fish have spawned, it does like to go up to the top end of the lake, and it certainly likes its bait. So we can put a bit of a plan in place. So if we do manage to get the big common, then game on for that really. Yeah, it looks lake's looking beautiful. I'm not sure this sun's going to do any good for the fishing today, but they do like it warm in here. And probably the best chance of a bite will be within the next hour or so, and then I would imagine that any time after sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock, the chances are sort of have gone a bit till it starts getting into the evening. But yeah, I shall give you a bit of an update later on. I'm going to have some breakfast. But yeah, great start to the morning and another really superb Girton fish, so happy days. Oh, come and have a look, Lee. See what you think. I'll have to wait in a minute, but
oh yeah,
proper.
Up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we haven't weighed this one yet, but buzzing is an understatement. This is an absolute clonking common. Oh. Look at that. Absolute stunning. One of the originals. We'll wait in a minute, but it looks to be full of spawn. I'll show you the other side quickly. Oh, I think it's late 30s. I think the scales are in my bag, Lee, in the van. I'll just show you this side, we'll get some pictures. It is a warm day, so I'm not going to keep this fish out of the water too long, especially with it being an old one. Oh, what a fish. Absolutely scrapped. Right, we'll get some photos done. Look at that for a warrior. What a morning. Fishery just keeps giving. It's just an incredible place, and yeah, absolutely brilliant morning. To catch that common, it's one of the old ones, one of the originals. My mate Shane caught it. I just spoke to the owner, Ollie, and I think they've called it the Hyatt common after him. So yeah, 37.4. Put up an amazing scrap, and thanks to Lee and Simon for all your help with the pictures and filming, and yeah, it's a really big help. And yeah, Simon's just popped up to the shop. He's got me some beers. He's gone back down to his swim now, and some sun cream, because it is absolutely roasting today. I know I look like a bit of a donkey in this, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to get sunstroke whilst I've got a chance of catching some really, really big fish. So I just wanted to talk you through something as well whilst I'm here, about the setup. I know quite a few people are interested. So all bites have come off the middle rod now. Yeah, they've all come off the middle rod. And what I wanted to talk to you about is how I've got everything set up. So I'm fishing at about 115 yards, and I'm absolutely bowstring tight. Now the bobbins are completely up to the top. I've got the clutches are tightened right down, locked up with the tips in the air. This pit's got loads of snags in it. And you know, as soon as that fish picks it up, I want the lead ejected and the fish up in the water. And the reason I mention this is because the common that I've just had, it actually came right to the surface on the take, literally. So that, you know, the take happened, the rod tip bent down, the lead had gone, and it was right up to the top of the surface. And then you know, as soon as I got into it, it started to fight and get its head down. But yeah, I mean, it was safe instantly. So the point I'm making is that, you know, in this swim here, it'd all be too easy to just sort of walk down there and get your rods in the water, get your tips down low. But you know, for me, that's not the one, and it's not putting fish safety at you know, you're not due consideration basically. So and the other thing to update you with is, whilst I was playing that fish, an absolute unit crashed out over the spot. So yeah, there's fish definitely turned up here now, and now I think probably the best chance now is just before it gets dark. I mean, it follows the same pattern as yesterday. But yeah, what a session. 25, a 26 and a 37. So come on, butthead, where are you? Right guys, we're just approaching 5:30, 6 o'clock now, as suspected, with that bright sunshine and the spring form on this lake at the moment. Daytime bites are tough to come by. I think you've got a morning period from first light, an hour before, right the way up to about 10:30, 11, and then it just sort of seems to shut up shop. The fish have just started showing again. We did have quite a strong westerly earlier. It's sort of a west-northwest, but it's supposed to swing all the way around to a southwesterly later and come in quite strong, so we'll see what happens. But the fish have pushed out to my left slightly, in line with the second pylon. There's been quite a few shows, but just now I've seen one come out on the populars in the background there. Still nothing off that right hand rod, but I have just recast all three. Everything went out really well. I know the spots are working. I'm really hopeful for an absolute monster tonight. So yeah, going to get a barbecue on. Have a couple of beers to celebrate a cracking few fish. If you don't hear from me until tomorrow morning, you'll know we've had a good barbecue and a few beers, but we haven't had any fish. Good morning. True to form, we've had a bite at first light. Nothing happened in the evening last night. Had a good barbecue and a few beers. I wasn't expecting anything to happen last night, to be honest. It does seem typical at the moment, particularly on this lake at springtime. It's either a bite just before it gets dark or a bite at first light. You've got a chance probably all the way up to about 10:30, 11 o'clock. It was actually the right hand rod that went this morning, so I don't know whether that fresh southwesterly's just pushed them away from that bowl area, and particularly that spot I was fishing right at that pylon I showed you. So yeah, it's good to know that that spot had been visited and that we persisted with it. That was on a club mix wafter, the wafter rig that I showed you, so I didn't change the rigs. 2 stiff inches on the left and middle, and I've stuck with the match the hatch on the right hand rod, which has paid off. It's a lovely scaly fish. It was just getting light, so I've popped it into the retainer. It's 4:30 now, so I'll just wait for the light just to get a little bit better, and I'll get it out and show you. It's probably somewhere between 15 and 17 pound, but it's a nice stocky. It's got some lovely scale patterns on it, so I'll get that one out and show you a bit later on. Yeah, it looks prime now. A little bit colder today as well. Forecast a bit of rain, so probably got another 6-7 hours left of the session. So yeah, I'm going to get a kettle on. I'll show you this fish a bit later on. Well, I can only describe that as an absolute savage morning. I've actually had a quadruple take whilst I was in the water playing the first one. The middle rod went, then the right hand rod went, but I've got rods everywhere. I have managed to net all 4. It's a bit of a chaos down here, but we've got a couple of lovely commons in there. Chunks. We've got a really nice common in here. That's a nice one. And in the retention we've got a mirror. So what a morning. I'm just going to get the rod sorted back out because there's a possibility of a real big fish. So yeah, looks absolutely prime. Just absolutely love big pit fishing. Right, good morning. I gave you, well, morning again. I gave you an update about 4:30 when this scaly beast went in the net. And yeah, really wanted to show you this one because it's a typical AGS stocky. It's going to be stunning when it's put a few more pound on, but just weighed it, 21.7. Look at that, it's gorgeous. Oh, I've got to go, I've got a bite. No, it was a liner. Good job my mate Simon's here. Right, just quickly show you this absolutely gorgeous fish. 21.7. I'll just quickly show you the other side. We've got another 3 commons in the net to show you. I think one of them's a nice 20. The other 2 I'm not so sure about. But yeah, it's been carnage in the swim this morning. Just want to show you this other side, because it's got some beautiful scales on it. Look at that, eh, for a fish. When this is 35, 40 pounds, because it's potential in this water with the naturals, that's going to be an absolute clonker. So we'll get this one back and we'll get the other 3 out, show you them. Right, this is the second fish of the 4. Looking at it, I think this is one of the super stockies that have gone in, and it looks to have absolutely piled on the weight. I'm so pleased I've switched back to these hinge stiff rigs. They're absolutely nailing the fish. They really are working a treat. Yeah, I think this is definitely one of the super stockies. Got a little bit of scale damage, which I'll treat with some propolis. We'll just give it a quick weigh. $25.10. Lovely. And this is what I'm talking about with the richness of this water. I mean, this is definitely one of the super stockies. $25.10. Look at that for a clonker. That is an absolute chunk for a young fish. That's going to be absolutely massive. So as I said, it's just got that tiny bit of scale damage there. I always keep some of the propolis treatment. You just put a little bit on, just a tiny bit of water. You don't want to be splashing loads of water on this, just gently drip it on. It'll just repair that. I'll just quickly show you the other side. A lovely fish. This is going to be a right chunk, this one is. Look at that. Hangry one. Let's get her back. £18.5 this one. I'm not sure, but no, maybe. Just different scale patterns. Probably still one of the stockies actually. It's just darkened off nicely. But this one will be recognisable with its scale patterns. Yeah, I'll just take the absolutely nailed again. These stiff hinges are 2 inches back. So this is one for the future. £18.5. Beautiful little dark one. It's really taking on the colours. So you probably look at this one in the future. Quite distinctive of its scale patterns. I'll show you the other side. Beautiful fish. Look at that, look. Little angry one. Right, we'll get this one back. My back's hurting, and we'll show you the final one. Right, bites are coming thick and fast now. This weather change has definitely turned them on. fresh southwesterly wind, and you just seen on the mobile phone I managed to get a little bit of the in-fight footage of this one, but this is a lovely long fish. Very lean fighting, might be a Trent one this, but very, very long. Look at that, look. They're all angry. They don't want to be caught, these ones. We'll get a quick snap and we'll pop it back. Right, well, what a morning this is turning out to be. 5 bites since 5:30, and it's since 4:30, and it's now 6:30. These conditions are just absolutely prime now. I'm just keeping everything fingers and toes crossed because, you know, the big one I think will definitely get caught at some point today, stroke tomorrow. I mean, it's so due now, and you know, it's been roasting hot, and it's now southwesterlies, fresh new wind, temperature drops, and the fish are feeding like mad. So yeah, what a crazy spell that was. So yeah, 5 fish, biggest up to 26, that lovely 20 scaly mirror, and those commons were, the biggest was up to about 18 pound. So yeah, they're packing on the weight, and yeah, these conditions have really switched them on. So I've got everything back reset, all the rods have gone back out nice. A little bit more difficult on the cast now with obviously the wind coming into me, but I still managed to get them out there fine. I'm just going to prepare a few more rigs because that's it. I'm just using my last rig now, so I need to tie up some more troddies for the stiff hinge section. But yeah, what a session this is turning out to be. I really don't want to leave today because I really do know that one of these are going to get caught, and I keep harping on about it and I keep saying it, but that's what I'm here for. And sometimes you have to make the most of conditions like this. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, another chunk's going to slip up, and I shall update you once I've had another cup of tea. Right, just getting everything wrapped up, coming to the end of my 48 hours, and what an unbelievable session. I'm absolutely shattered. 9 bites, 9 fish landed, 6 20+ fish, including a real special old one. I've not videoed the final one, but I've literally just put back an absolute stunning 24+ mirror, lovely linear scaled. I'll put a photo up at the end of the blog for you to see. But yeah, it's been an incredible session. I'd love to stay another night, but you know, got things to do. I've got a feeling that one of these big ones are going to get caught any time, but you can only do what you can do. But yeah, you know, absolutely amazing session. And yeah, until next time, I shall speak to you soon.